Just blew the seal off. Fuck. Well, I wish you saw that one, friends. Blew my nail out. So, oh. Oh no. Okay, last effort of the night here. I'm gonna try it with the bike tube and the rubber stop. No, I think this is another failure, friends. Yeah. Yeah, it's not holding. We're dropping there. I wonder if it's this sucker. Put a little bit more pressure on the sucker. Well, that didn't work. But at least I can say that I think my bottom end is sealed. I just need to find a way to seal this. I'm glad that piece of rubber was as thick as it was, because as you can see, the end of the bolt was just about to start touching the case. All right, here's our next stop. A little rubber stopper I fashioned. Look at this, guys. The walt's on fire. Toast. Well, let's see what the fuck happens here. Okay guys, here's what we're up to now. We're making a little mold. If you're ever cutting rubber, just make sure it's nice and firm and the Sawzall will get through it. Don't use that because it just burns it and makes a burning rubber smell. Which is alright on cruise night, but maybe not in the shop if you can avoid it. Yeah, nothing. It's on the vacuum. Holy moly, it's a hand workout. Yeah. Now, to me, this looks like it's going to be a problem. That doesn't look like it's going to hold. Anything coming up from around the carb? Carb seems to be sealed. So it's just sealing up this exhaust side. But in terms of crank seals, no Michael Bublé. No Michael Bublé, which I'm happy about. Anything around the base of the saw? Remember, we did a gasket delete, so just use Moto Seal. Moto Seal seems to be holding. Don't seem to be getting any air out of my nail here. My fuel line. So, let's hit the drawing board again. Okay, so I cut out the piece of inner tube, cleaned it up. I'm gonna go for the double up. And instead of putting the whole muffler on, I'm just try and seal it with this plate. Well, look at this. We blew a hole on our inner tube. Patunk. Looks like we made a nice seal, but I wonder if I tried doubling this up, if it would work. Alright, so I've got this little fancy cylinder leakage gauge. I'm gonna hook it up with some air. Well, you heard the pop. It's coming right out of there. Right out of the exhaust, okay. Put that sucker on. Nothing there, that's a good sign. Nothing there. Definitely bubbles there, I can hear it. See if we can seal up that exhaust a little better. Well, Polly, I'm just grasping at straws here. I just kind of finger fitted it on, and then I've kind of been tapping the edges fairly lightly to try and seat it back in without taking the whole case apart and everything. You know, I'm going back and I'm looking at this original seal here. And it was metal, so maybe the metal seats in the case a little better versus the rubber under air pressure just blows out. I've done it several times now, so I'll tap it back in, and then I think what I'll do is I'll remove this nail here to give the air a natural outlet, just to avoid blowing that off again. Then I'll just spray it down and see if it's leaking out of there at all, and just kind of thumb this a little bit. The old thumb regulator. Hey, Polly. So I don't know if is that prolapsed. See the crown on it? This time I was only on like, frick man, maybe max 10 PSI on the... Well, I don't know. I mean, is it prolapsed? Is it not? It's got a ton of grease on it. See, it's this rubberized seal here. Now that's pushing out that ring there, so that could mean it's prolapsed. All right, well, we've got the crank seal press fitted back on. I tapped it in with a socket and a couple other deals. At this point, it's just how much worse could it be, right? If that crank seal's effed because I blew it off at 90 PSI, so be it. I got to get a new one anyway, so I don't think I'm really going to hurt things anymore. I just put the hand pump to it. Everything was holding a lot better once I secured my fittings down. However, I still felt that my spark plug adapter was leaking air. So I couldn't really see any bubbles, but it was just what my gut was telling me. The important part was under low pressure, after spraying the crank seals, they weren't leaking any air, especially this one. So now I've got my compressor dropped right down to about 5 to 10 PSI, and we're gonna hook up the detonator. Okay, we're gonna hook up the hypersonic detonator, and like I said, I'm just trying to see if now this deal is gonna leak. I was pretty sure everything was tight before, and simply through a matter of not knowing when to quit, I kept going and I blew this crank seal off. So we're gonna give this a go right now and spray everything down, see if we can find some air coming from somewhere. Okay, right away I can hear some air. Oh boy. Boom. Well, fuck. Two for two. 2 for 2. That one actually fucking hit me. God damn it. Oh man, I'm so glad we caught that one on camera. Shot with the bearing seal. Damn. Oh man, here we go. Okay. I press fit the crank seal back on. I've just tested with the hand pump. I was still losing pressure and losing vacuum somewhere. Not as fast though, at a much slower rate. And I did spray down the seals and I wasn't getting any airflow there. Honestly, I think it was from my spark plug adapter, although I could not really locate anything there. So we're gonna give this another go. I've dropped the pressure on my compressor right down to 5 to 10 psi. So we'll give this a go, see if we can find a leak anywhere.